we're going to go to some, I guess, viewer slash listener slash Instagram questions for you. Andrew, you got a couple of those pulled out, man?
Yeah, we got a couple questions here. First is from Eric Hover. He asks, does the attack ever keep you from places or activities?
No.
Never?
No. I haven't been down to the attack site yet that I've shown Treacle. That's where I got attacked.
Yeah. Do you think you'll go back and visit the attack site?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I threatened to go back on horseshoes and get our snowshoes and get him while he's sleeping. That's not fair.
We got another one from Average Human Guy. Do you have any PTSD or emotional trauma from the attack?
About the second week in the hospital, I had nightmares that kept me up most of the night. Heard about a week. That after that, I didn't. And they asked me if I needed any therapy or whatever. I said, no, I'm over it.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think you owe that to?
Well, one, my dare experience, because I know how dares react, and this is a 1 in a million shot. Just happened to be all the wrong circumstances at the right time. And two, just, I'm not going to let anything keep me down. I'm not going to.
Do you think in general people overestimate or underestimate? I know this isn't the question, but in general, do you think people overestimate or underestimate the danger posed by grizzly bears?
Oh, they definitely underestimate them.
Really?
Yeah. There's a lot of power in that animal.
Yeah. What about like the frequency of an attack? Like obviously like an attack.
I guarantee it, they're going to get a lot more frequent.
You think, Boone.
Yeah. I agree, so? Growl at them.
Boy, I don't think Boone liked that answer, man. I think Boone's a little bit afraid of bears. What else do we got?
Yeah.
The fantastic Mr. Fox asks, how confident were you before the trip in your bear attack plan and equipment?
Probably 99.9% confident. Not their experience and not plan of the attack, as I ever had a problem with it there. And I go through that scenario a lot when I rent side-by-sides in the summer. Treacle asks me all the time if we see a deer friend or at the end of the trail there, you could tell where a young deer climbed up the tree. You can see the scratch marks all the way up the tree. So anybody that makes it there, I show them that tree and they're like, wow, do you think we'll have any problems with there? And it's like, so I generally go through my deer philosophy and my deer attack approach most of the summer with people.
And you carry, in addition to carrying a pistol, you carry bear spray too.
I had bear spray right in front of my holster on my belt that if I hadn't had my gun out, I wouldn't even have got it out of the holster. That's how quick it happened.
Right.
That since I jumped the horse there and I then stopped like there's before, it's like, your head's always on a swivel. And the only reason I didn't see him before that is I looked down to step over that log. And the trees are fairly thick there. It wasn't like heavy, dense timber, that it was thick enough that he went over some underbrush and some downfall. I didn't even hear him. He just sailed across it.
How would you advise somebody to like just be in bear country? How would you advise somebody to carry themselves, say on a day trip, and then assume that they're camping?
Well, if you're camping, you really got to be careful.
Yeah.
Because it's not only, putting your food up in trees so that they don't come around. One of their experiences, my brother and I used to send a week in my grandfather's cabin every summer just trying to live off the land. And we cooked bacon for dinner that night, and we had a deer knocking on the door within that hour.
Oh, wow. So
don't cook bacon out in the wild.
Okay, noted.
Because that will bring bears to your door.
For sure.
That, I know a girl in Big Sky that got pulled out of her tent by a deer, and that was years ago. Mm. So, it's always assume that they're there.
Keep a real clean camp.
And you got to keep a real clean camp. If you're just out for the day, you Yeah, look at the flowers. That you got to be looking behind you. And I tell people most of the time you can smell or hear it there before you ever see them.
What's a bear smell like?
I get asked that question a lot. Picture, if you will, a dumpster and a boys' locker room.
Really?
That's what it smells like. Yeah. Especially the big doors because they're rolling in dead animals and whatever. So they smell like a dumpster and a boys' locker room. It's like, yeah. And you can definitely tell that, or even a little elk,
Yeah.
that different smell.
What about if you're day hiking? The average person, a tourist coming to Big Sky, they want to go out, hike one of like the trails. What's your advice to them?
Well, if you're not hunting, talking and dealing in groups is always a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
People give me crap because of what happened. It's like, well, you should have been making noise and you should have been together. And it's like we were hunting. That's not what you do when you're hunting. But if you're just out hiking, that'll warn the bears that you're there. And that's 90% of that attacks.
So you think just an exaggerated presence is enough to
talk
dissuade
a little
bears?
louder.
Yeah.
I think a lot of things, too, is listen.
Mm.
You got to pick up your listening abilities because bears aren't really stealthy unless they're hunting something. So if they're out doing their normal things, they're rolling rocks and breaking trees, and they're not worried about stepping on branches or anything. So they're not really quiet when they're out in the woods unless they're hunting something. That's when they get stealthy.
Sure. What else we got, Andrew?
Last one from Jeff Williams. Did you see it coming or was it a surprise? Would you do anything differently?
I didn't see it coming until it was there. It was like a second away. And I don't know how far the dead deer was from where the attack happened, but I assumed that it was really close because I didn't hear him, I didn't smell him, I didn't see him until there he was.
Would you have done anything differently? I mean, do you feel like you could have done anything differently?
Besides make sure that the
and making sure you have one in the pipe.
one that was going to fire. That's the new rule. That the whole cylinder is going to be full of live rounds next time.
Yeah.
But I could have stepped behind a tree, put a tree between me and the bear. That I only had 1 second, so it was step behind the tree, or lift my arm and pull the trigger. And in my defense, that was my best defense, was to shoot him. And I had him dead to rights. I had him point blank right in the head.
Yeah.
So if it wouldn't have this hard, it would have been a different scenario and you wouldn't want to be talking to me.
Hey everybody, thank you for watching this bonus clip. For more of this kind of thing, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps us out. If you want to see the episode where we got this clip from, you can see it right up there. And if you want to see more podcasts, playlist right there. Check them out. Super good. I like that. This really was a good episode.